I wanted to go around and do introductions. And instead of it being super complicated, just your name, your creative practice. It doesn't have to be your profession. And the last thing you ate, because that's easy. So I'll go first. My name is Bhoomika. My creative practice is writing. And the last thing I ate was an acai bowl. So hey, you want to go next?
Okay.
Oh, Shazia, go next.
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead, it's fine.
My name is Shazia. I am an artist. I am not medium specific, but usually work around sculptures and installations. The last thing I ate just before I entered this meeting was those digestive thins, which are really addictive. That's what I ate.
Yeah, those are really addictive.
I know.
Hi, Shazia. Nice to have you here. Sohaib?
Okay, so my name is Sohaib. I'm not a creative by profession. I'm an engineer, but I've been involved with art ever since I was a kid. So my current creative practice, because I keep changing interests, is photography. And the last thing that I ate was a burger. I'm very basic about food, so I only eat burgers, pizzas, the usual stuff.
Burger from where?
I don't know. It's like a close by restaurant here in my area. It's new. It just opened, so I just ordered from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a good burger joint, so I'll talk to you after. Because there are very few places that deliver to my place, which is really annoying. I live in the Medan area. Zara?
Oh, it close by actually. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What is up with that? Anyway. We're gonna go through this. Zara.
Hi. So my name is Zara Mansoor. I don't know what my creative practice is either because I switch between a lot of mediums. So some of them are film photography and ceramics, but I'm an architectural designer by profession. The last thing I ate was cornflakes cereal because lunch wasn't made.
The original cornflakes?
Too much work.
The original
work to make lunch.
Put sugar in it or?
No.
I love breakfast for dinner. I think that should really be widely accepted.
Yeah, I agree. Breakfast all day, every day.
Yeah.
Eggs. We should do breakfast next time. Anyway, side note.
I think we can all do breakfast next time. Widen the circle. Gurvi, am I saying your name right?
Yeah, it's Jervy.
Jervy, sorry.
Yes.
Hi, Jervy.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, my camera's not on. It's just not working at the moment, so I'll just keep it off. Yes, so my name is Jervy. My creative practice is mostly digital art, but I also experiment with different mediums such as film and film photography as well, and doing different collages and just yeah. And the last thing that I ate was strawberries and dark chocolate because I was craving something sweet and I wanted to mix the healthy with the unhealthy, so that's what I got.
That's so smart. I might not remember anything. I will remember the strawberries with dark chocolate, but I will remember the film and photography thing too. Is Amal still here, or did she jump off the call? Because I can't see her in my window anymore.
She might have been bumped off the call. I'll email her and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be to pray because it's just Maghrib, so
yeah,
she might come back. Yeah.
So
I think we go ahead. Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can still see my screen, can't you? Cool. Okay. So, now that we've gotten introductions out of the way, I have a little activity. So grab your pens and notebooks, and you don't have to share these. I will be sharing mine. I want you to write down. I'll give you 3 minutes to do this. I'm going to put my timer on so we stay on time. What insecurity are you carrying into this workshop? So pro tip, you can complete the sentence, I'm worried that dash. And Second, how would you like your peers here to see you? So how would you like to be perceived? And go. Feel free to ask me any questions if you have any.
Is there, I had a question about the second prompt, which is how would you like your peers to see you? Is there any context to that, or is it just?
No, just how do you want to be perceived?
Okay.
It can be anything. And you are not forced to share. So like, to be honest, let me know if you want the whole 3 minutes or if you're done. You can say done.
I'm done.
You're done?
Mm-hmm.
Done, Shazia? Zara? Oop. Jervy, Zara? Done?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Does anyone want to share?
I think someone just joined. Like someone.
Yeah. Hi, Rohit.
Hi, Rohit.
Hey, Bhoomika. Hey, Shazia. Hey, Shoaib.
Hi, Rohit. Hi.
So,
Hi, sorry I'm late.
No worries. Thanks for joining us. We did the intros. So you want to jump in now and tell us, hold on, your name, your creative practice, and the last thing you ate.
My name is Rohit Rajagopalan. My creative practice is semi-fictional writing and bad poetry. The last thing I ate was a banana.
Healthy. Nice. Okay. Nice to meet you, Rohit. Thanks for being here.
Nice to meet you guys too.
You haven't missed much. I just did some like foundational stuff, and I'm going to give you a minute to do this exercise of as soon as you walk in, you're doing this exercise.
I'm sorry, the audio is cut off.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Hold on.
Can you all hear me?
We hear you okay.
Yeah.
Rohit, can you hear me? Now your audio's off.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm good.
Okay, amazing.
Sorry about
While we share, I'm going to give you a minute to look at this exercise. Take a pen and notebook and just write down what insecurity are you carrying into this workshop. So complete the sentence, I'm worried that dash, and answer the question, how would you like your peers to see you? So how would you like to be perceived? Okay?
Okay.
If you want to share, raise your hand. I'm going to start actually, because my insecurity, the insecurity I'm carrying into this workshop is that I've never led a workshop before. So I'm very afraid that I'm going to screw this up. And I would like my peers to see me as grounded. Sorry about that. I would like my peers to see me as grounded because that's the kind of energy I'm trying to bring to this workshop. Anyone want to go next?
I can go next.
Yes.
So the insecurity is that I'm worried that I won't have much to say, or I won't be smart enough. And I forget what the second question exactly was, but the answer is as fun and engaging.
Okay. I'm here to testify that that thought is in everyone's head all the time. I've had enough conversations to know that we are all worried about the same thing. I feel like this like 99% of the time. So you are not alone. Thank you for sharing. All right. Anyone else?
Sure, I'll share.
Yay, Shazia.
Okay. All right. The insecurity that I'm bringing in is that I'm afraid, well, I'm not very good at verbalizing my practice. So I'm insecure that, I won't be, I'm not very good at communicating that. So that's going to just confuse everyone, is an insecurity. And how would you like your peers here to see you would be, Confident, experienced person of value, which I'm not proud of, but still.
Amazing.
Okay.
You're definitely a person of value. And confidence and experience, they come with time, I think. So, yay, thank you for sharing. Anyone else?
I'll go.
Thanks, Sohaib.
Okay, so insecurity is that I'm insecure with my relevance in this group. And how I would like my peers here to see me. I wrote down interesting, but I don't know how I could elaborate more on that. But it's kind of similar to what other people have said already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about the relevance thing. I hear you're saying that you're worried that you're worried about your relevance to the group. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So I'm like always at art galleries, whether I'm with friends or just on my own. And I always feel like I want to be there, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I don't have enough credibility to be around that type of place. Like, because I'm not from an art background, even though I love art. So I always feel like I'm lost, even though I want to belong there. So kind of similar feeling here.
Yeah. I know this feeling. I often look really lost and dazed at galleries. Shazia and I went to a gallery, giving you a little anecdote here. Shazia and I went to a gallery and she asked me what I thought about an art piece. We both walked out of the gallery and I was like, I didn't know what that was about. Like, I couldn't hold any of the art. Like I didn't understand. Like, am I supposed to understand? Because there was no context. There was no text that I could access it from. So it was really weird. So this is like, there's a lot of shammy stuff. So yeah, don't worry about it. You're good. All right, I think I'm going to move to the next one. Unless someone wants to share.
I do have a point to make though. The accessibility of galleries is not a you problem, it's a system problem.
I just want to say the same. On purpose.
It's the fact that it isn't accessible, and it's made so that way. So, you know, feel free to go there. Just be there. It's important. Your presence is important.
I'm there pretty much every weekend anyway. Yeah.
So,
let's go together and talk about how nothing makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're from design backgrounds, and whenever I go to like galleries or any design exhibition, half of the time I'm trying to understand what's going on, and I just leave the place anyway with complete. It's always like that. Don't worry.
All right, so I think I'm going to just move on. I hope that this activity made you feel a little bit safe, especially the sharing bit. But what I want you to do with the answers to both of these questions is put them up on a shelf. So we're not boxing it away. We're not denying our insecurities. We're just getting some distance so that they don't drive our participation in this workshop today. Okay. All right. For the record, I am glad to have you here exactly as you are, with all the insecurities and flaws, because that's the most interesting version of you. Now we have a small activity that is going to be basically the vibe of this workshop. You will be happy to know. I would like for you to share one, because this is something that I want you to revel in. Number one, write down 3 things you can teach a beginner. So anything that you've been practicing or studied for a year or just about a year counts. And it doesn't have to be creative. It can be anything. It can be, if you have been making your bed for a year, that counts. You can teach a beginner to make your bed. And folding those, you know, those sheets, the ones with the thing. Yeah, that's a real talent, I believe. And the best compliment you've received, who gave it to you, and how it made you feel. And that, again, doesn't have to be about your creative practice. So I really want you to embody it and feel it. I'm going to give you 6 minutes. I'm putting my timer on now. Let me know if you have any questions. We have 4 more minutes. But let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
Where are we at? Jerry, Sarah, Rohit, Sohaib?
I'm done.
Oh,
I'm
good. Okay. Jerry?
Yep, all good.
Good. Okay. And Sohaib, I can't see you on my screen because I have to scroll and the mouse has disappeared again.
So Bhoomika, you can just like drag the gallery thingy a bit so that your share screen is smaller, so that all the participants.
I know, but I'm not even able to exit from the screen. So it's
okay.
a very weird situation. I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to make it work. It's fine. All right. So anyone feeling up to share? These are good things.
Oops. Not necessarily.
What are you teaching people, Sarah?
Okay, so I guess I'll go first.
Yeah.
I did a few that were sort of things that I know how to do, and it's how to design posters, how to hold an online discussion, because that's what I've kind of learned in the past year. The last one is how to fail miserably at being productive, but also get shit done last minute.
That is a
That's
skill.
like my MO. Yeah, and the answer is just have faith. And the best compliment I've received is wow. And I don't really know how to explain this, but like my husband gives me this compliment, and it's like that compliment goes for everything. If I look pretty, if I do work, if I take a shower, if I actually do like get some kind of achievement, just wow. And like there's a tone that he uses as well, and yeah, it makes me feel really good and motivated every single time. So yeah, that's me.
Yay. Okay, I'm gonna take that wow and up it one day. It's gonna happen. Let's switch it up a little bit. Jerry?
Okay. All right. So,
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's all me. Keep going.
No worries. Okay.
Want paratha?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're.
Who is?
Sorry, someone just came in. Yeah. So the 3 things that I've been learning for the past year that I could possibly teach someone, although I don't know how good of a teacher I could possibly be, is so I've been doing a lot of like social media content because I am a social media person or like professional, and I work with agencies a lot. So social media content, and like, hey, if anyone wants to up their social media content game, I'm there for them. I've also been roller skating. So that's one of the things that hey, we can all fall on our asses. Like, I'm still not that good at it, but I would be willing to teach someone because it's hard to find people who are into roller skating, especially in Abu Dhabi. And then another thing would just be how to make gas coffee. And if you want to save money going to coffee shops, then I'm there. Best compliment, I guess someone told me how unique my work is, and like it's very me, and my boss told me that, and how it's an asset to have someone like that. And I was just like, oh, okay, like to be told by someone that you look up to that that your work is great and all of that stuff is what really kept me going, especially like in an agency. It's very like cutthroat, and like people will just tell you that you're shit and like yeah. So that was a very wholesome thing for me to hear from my boss. So yeah.
How did it make you feel?
It made me feel really hopeful and motivated. It's just something that, you know, it kind of like when you're down, all the time, and then you suddenly hear something really good about yourself. It's like, okay, you feel kind of uplifted and like wholesome and all of that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm glad your boss recognizes what he has. And also, I'm going to take you up on that coffee offer because it sounds amazing. I make horrible coffee all the time. I have a coffee maker, but it's just like, it's horrible coffee. Every single morning, I'm disappointed. So we'll do that. Okay. Sohaib?
Yeah. Okay. So 3 things that I could probably teach someone. Number 1 would be finding hidden places. I feel like I'm good at making a list of places that no one's heard about, even if they've spent, I don't know, decades in a city or something. And sounds like a pretentious thing to say, but I feel like it has been the case. Every time I've like gone somewhere, visited a city or a new place, the residents of the area had no idea where I was going. They didn't know that place existed. So I feel like I did good research, I guess. Second thing is pouring art, something that I picked up last year.
What is it?
It's like when you have a couple of acrylics and you turn them into like pouring mediums, and then you just
art. Okay.
Yeah, so you just pour them over the canvas. So I'm not good at it by any means, but it's like something that I could probably teach someone at least the basics of.
Okay.
And last thing, because it is related to work, it is something that I've been doing for a while, is I can probably teach someone how to design an irrigation network. So it's, if you need help irrigating your plants, you can come to me.
That's no small feat. Wow. Okay. Best compliment you've received.
Yeah. The reason why I remember this is because when this person said this to me, I actually responded with, "This is the best compliment someone has ever given me."
Yeah.
I remember it, and it sounds super poetic, but it's when I took a picture of something and I put it on my story, a friend of mine was like something along the lines of, "Oh, what it would be to see the world with your eyes." It sounds super poetic,
nice.
but it was super nice. It was super sweet, and I think it was like I usually take a lot of pictures, but I don't ever post them much except for just on my story. So for someone that it really felt nice.
That sounds really nice. Yeah, I want to see that picture. I'm sure it deserved it, but I also want to see that picture.
I think I have it somewhere on my phone. I don't know if I can add it to the chat, but I can put it on my camera.
Yes, please.
Picture of Burj Khalifa, by the way.
I'm gonna do a thing where, like, at the end, I'm gonna give you my Instagram handle anyway, so we'll follow each other. It'll be good, and I can see the picture too. And I don't think I will ever need help with irrigation, but the pouring art thing sounds really fun. Like, it sounds like a really fun day. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Rohit?
Okay, so the 3 things I've learned this past year that I could probably help a beginner with. Number 1 is getting started with writing. I'm not a particularly experienced writer or anything, but at least the initial baby steps on how to get started and make it a habit, I think help with that. And I'd say, like, in most cases, we're also afraid of getting it right the first time when it comes to anything, really. So I think I could help someone with the baby steps. Second thing I learned was how to make good hummus. Yeah, my wife is laughing. Great. I'm good enough, I guess. And third thing is I learned, gonna piggyback on Gervi here. I learned how to roller skate is not the word. I can roll a walk.
Roller walk. Nice. Okay.
And the best compliment I've received is from a friend of mine. She's a creative. She is a filmmaker actually. She told me how much she, like, out of the blue, she just messaged me one day and told me how much she enjoyed my writing and that she felt intimidated by it. I don't know if she meant that as a compliment or not, but I took it as one.
I would take that as a compliment. How did it make you feel?
It made me feel really good, validated for once. I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that I wanted to do, and being valued for that as a creative, it means a lot. As much as we'd like to say that validation really doesn't mean much, it's internal validation that counts, but it really does. It means a lot. People's opinions do.
Yeah, especially like if you're writing.
Mhm.
I think what you're saying when you said I would take that as a compliment, I think intimidating is a compliment.
Okay.
I think if it was like confusing, I would be like, that's a weird backhanded compliment, you know, or like complex. Complex is a really nice way to like, it's like a backhanded thing, you know. Intimidating is good. And hummus is tricky. I have made hummus, like I made hummus twice, and it keeps getting stuck in the blades. Like, you know what I mean?
Just need a new blender, that's it.
Yeah, it was like really weird and chunky. I think I didn't use enough water or ice. I don't know. So yeah, but like kudos. Shazia.
Yes. So 3 things that I know is, and that I could teach, is basic woodwork. Like you feel like a complete badass when you know how to use like a very simple power tool. So I would love to like just show someone how to use like a jigsaw or something like that. Then I remember like softwares that I've learned before in college and stuff like Photoshop and things like that, which is sort of essential nowadays for a lot of people. And the last one is also a skill, which is linoleum printing, which is a fun activity. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, very skilled. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
The best compliment I've received was during a residency, one of the other residents in the same program, when we were asked to share our work. Like I've mentioned before, I'm not very good at verbalizing what my work is. She described it as intentionally objective, which I really liked.
Yeah.
And I wrote down the same thing. I felt validated as well, which, you know, as we don't want to like admit it, we'd like to feel validated. So yeah.
It's a myth. It's like this entire thing is a myth of like, oh my God, internally you get like, you did the thing, so feel validated. It always feels good when someone compliments your work. And I think it's always a process to get to a place where it's like, I'm doing this for me and not for, especially when it's meant to be consumed, like if it's writing or painting or whatever, and someone's, sorry, just give me 1 second. Don't do that. Tarun is taking pictures of me and it's very distracting. Sorry about that. This is the thing with working from home. Okay. All right. What we'll be, I want you guys to remember the feeling you got when you got the compliment. And this was a warm-up activity that I wanted to do because I want you to become really good at thinking about what you bring to the table. Whenever you enter a networking situation, it's a really good idea to do a little activity like this, whether it's this or it's just remembering the most recent compliment you received, because that helps you enter the situation knowing your worth and knowing your value. So what we'll be doing today, I've split it into 3 parts. Active listening, assessing your strengths and resources and needs, and in the process, learning to advocate for each other. I'm going to start with active listening. My laptop's doing that thing again. Hold on. There. Yes. Okay. I'm going to fix everything now. Just give me 1 second. Mhm. Brilliant. I can see you all now. All right. Active listening. I'm sure you guys are all really good listeners. I was not. I'm still practicing this. I learned how to actively listen in therapy, and the problem sometimes is that we are wired to listen in order to react. So while I'm speaking, you are already our way of processing it, and it's not a bad thing. It's just how the world works, because you have to give really quick reactions, and people don't wait long enough for you to absorb and respond. So when I'm speaking, you're already processing the information in a way where you're adding your own thoughts to what I'm saying. You're pulling from your life experiences and instances, and it's creating a narrative in your mind, right? Where the information that you're receiving is not pure. So active listening or mirroring is really, really helpful when you're having emotionally fraught conversations. This is a really good skill. We use it at our agency all of the time so that things don't get lost in translation, especially when you're giving information about a particular project and everybody needs to be on the same page. It is also a tool in being empathetic, right? So here's how it works. The listener's intent is, I'm listening to absorb and understand. And it's creating a gap between getting the information and absorbing it and responding. And in that gap is compassion or choice of how to react. The speaker slows it down. So I say an entire thought and I pause for you to mirror whoever I'm speaking to. So say I'm speaking to Sohaib and I finish an entire thought, and Sohaib then responds by saying it back to me in his own words. I hope I'm explaining this right. You say, I'm hearing that you're saying whatever I said in your words because you've processed it. Is that right? And then I say yes or no. And if you've got it wrong or whatever, I correct it, right? So the information transfer is accurate, but also in that moment when you're saying, I'm hearing that you're saying whatever, you're really pausing to consider that other person's take, and it's helpful. So it gives you space, like it says, to respond with compassion. So I want to try this activity now. Will anyone volunteer to do it with me? We'll do it both ways. So I'll say something and you can mirror, or you can say something and I can mirror, and you can see how it's done. Because this is something I'd love for us to do in our breakout rooms. You don't have to, but it helps. Is this clear, or do you want me to go over it again? Because I feel like maybe it's being lost.
No, it's clear. I mean, if I could volunteer.
Okay, thanks, Shazia. All right, so do you want me to speak first and you can mirror?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I've been feeling a lot of pressure lately, where I use my ideas to torture myself, where where I write down a bunch of ideas and then I go to it every week and I'm like, oh, out of all of these, I've only executed one. Like, I'm going really slow or whatever, and I'm feeling this immense pressure that I'm putting on myself. Have you ever felt like this?
So what you're saying is that of late, you've been feeling a lot of pressure to implement more ideas that you've written down in the past. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right. I feel like I'm not going fast enough.
Okay.
And I'm basically just, instead of valuing the thing that is good, which is the ideas, like I have so many good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you have so many good ideas, you're not implementing them fast enough.
Yeah.
So have you ever felt like this?
Yes, I have. Like right now I'm staring at the back of my door, which I put post-it notes for ideas to be executed. And the trouble for me is that, sort of balancing my day job and the art practice thing that I'm trying, which I'm doing as well. So I feel really guilty. It feels like I can't win. If I'm investing time in my art practice, I feel bad that I'm not investing time in my day job, or I'm a lot of work. It's an imbalance of work pressure to my teammates in my day job because of this. And when I focus on my day job, I feel terrible because, I feel like I'm on there's a timeline in which I had to finish like projects. I'm not doing enough projects, like you said. And that makes me feel like I'm not an artist, or I can't call myself an artist, or anything like that, things like that. So yeah.
Okay. So I'm hearing that you feel like you're in a double bind, where like it's kind of a no-win situation, where if you don't do enough of the day job work, then it feels like your colleagues have to pick up the slack. Okay. And sorry. And that was my addition, by the way, that like cool. Okay. Yeah. And on the other hand, if you're not doing enough artistic projects and you're focusing on your day job, you feel like you're not doing enough work to call yourself an artist. Is that right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay. Oh my God, the way we torture ourselves. It's amazing. Okay, so I wanted to do this exercise to just demonstrate this. Is everyone cool with this? Do you want to do one more, or are we okay? We're good? Seeing nodding? Yeah, okay, cool. So moving forward, when we go into breakout rooms, it would be really good to do the mirroring exercise. That way we're not interrupting each other, we're listening to absorb, and we're coming from a place of empathy. It will slow the process down a little bit. So we will do like 20 minutes instead of 10 minutes to really allow time. It's also a really nice way to interact with someone where you don't feel the time pressure to say the right words in the right order, and they'll like pause to understand what you're saying. So yeah, all right. Moving forward, I wanted to pause here and talk about the difference between working from abundance and working from scarcity. This has been circulated a lot on all mediums, and we're all kind of familiar with this anyway, but what I wanted to offer here is the difference between the abundance and scarcity mindset is it's not really simple. It's not one or the other, right? The scarcity mindset can have very different manifestations. So if you're walking into a room, and this happens most often with women that I've spoken to recently, because of structural things and conditioning, social conditioning. But we often feel, when we walk into a room, we often feel like we know less than other people in the room, just automatically walking in. That's a scarcity thing that we carry. So we don't know enough, right? On the other hand, and I have done this, I am guilty of this, where I try to hype myself up to feel like, no, you've got this, you know what you're talking about. But it's not coming from a genuine place of security. So I will walk into a room and I will control the conversation. I will try to dominate it so that I can feel like I know enough, right? And both of them are examples of a scarcity mindset. An abundance mindset is like conversations a lot more easygoing, and you are able to both absorb information and give and contribute to the conversation. And it's a good question to ask. In general, who would you like to be friends with? And more importantly, who would you like to be, right? And you go back and forth depending on the day. So like there's no judgment here, because we're all trained to work from scarcity. We're all trained to work from, and we are told every single day that there is not enough, right? And that your value is attached to your salary and all of these other things. So there are many, many ways in which this is enforced into us. So there's no shame there, but we want to try and move towards abundance. And that can come from supportive relationships and kinder self-talk. Okay, cool. It's a little thing. So first, so the way that I've structured this in order for us to work from abundance is this. There are two things. Number one, we first reflect on what we have to give rather than what we need, right? Because when we acknowledge what we have to give and our own wealth, we are more valuable to the people we are speaking to, right? And number two, the second part of the exercise is where we reflect on what we really need. Often when we're working from scarcity, we'll walk into a space and we'll feel like we need stuff, but we won't know what. So we will make a vague request of like, I want to make more connections, right? But nobody knows how to actually help you out because it's such a vague, big request, right? So what we're aiming for is one specific request that people can be like, oh, I know somebody, you know. And that will ensure that your need gets met. It will not solve all your problems, but in time, what happens is you are finding a way to get your need met more effectively, need one, and also be valuable in that relationship. So this is basically the reciprocity toolkit we put together for Gulf Creative Collective in practice. Okay. So now we have an exercise. I'm only going to devote like 2 minutes to this max. I want you to write down as many things as you can out of this list that apply to you. What do you have to give? Both in terms of knowledge and resources. Okay? It's a brainstorming activity. And the more we do this, the easier it will be in the breakout rooms, even if it's different fields, industries, whatever, because it's a good warm-up exercise. All right. Starting my clock now. Okay, we're done. That's 2 minutes. I want to leave a good 20 minutes at the end so you guys can do the breakout rooms properly. I hope your lists reflect truly what you have to give. Okay. Assessing your needs. This one is going to be quicker. I want you to just read these questions and circle one. These are not going to be exact, right? But circle one that applies to you the most right now, just one. And I'll tell you what to do with that next. Just give me a little nod when you're done. Does everyone have a number? Yeah. Okay. So we our team put this together from the point of view of usually when you need something, you're not sure what it is that you need because it's not easy to look at your needs objectively, and you're sitting with a question or a problem. So that's what this is based on. And then what we've done is from like if a friend was giving you advice in the same field, they would be able to mark out your problem. So your area of the area that you want to work on. So based on the number that you got, it's either something with creative growth, professional recognition, gaining creative momentum or refocusing your career, or you need help with emotionally supported rest. For the record, every single time I have gone through this activity, I have gotten emotionally supported rest, which is why it was a very important category to put in there. Especially because like now every time you open Instagram or any website for that matter, you're just bombarded with people's like what they're up to and what they're doing and everything that they've accomplished. And you're like, oh my God, I cannot rest. Like I can't rest because I will fall behind or whatever. So it feels really good to now I have a few people that I can check in with and I ask them, how are you resting today? And that's really helpful because I know that there is someone resting alongside me in a world where everyone else is moving. So based on the number you got, please remember which category it is. And now we've got these graphics. Take your time, read these graphics. If you want, you can note these down or take a screenshot. These are also all available on the Instagram channel, the Gulf Creative Collective Instagram channel. But it'll help you ask for more specific things from your partner. And again, these are just ideas. You can take these and expand. These are just some brainstorming we've done for you. Let me know when we can move on, if we can move on, if you're still reading. Yeah. I think it's 8:10, so I'm going to move to the next thing. Okay. I hope you've gotten enough time to look at this. But anyway, it's just idea generation. Next, breakout rooms. All right. So I'm going to start the breakout rooms now. The thing to remember is that you are your partner's advocate. So once we begin the session, I want you to make eye contact. And as silly as it may seem, I want you to say, I'm on your side. I'm here for you. And that's how you start the session. Do your best to actively listen and be empathetic to their needs. You can take turns talking about, here's what I'm dealing with, you know, and here's how you can support me. Do you have any ideas? And then you can brainstorm how you can support your partner, and they do the same for you. So when you leave from here, you know someone's in your corner. Sound good? Okay, all right. So I'm going to leave this up on screen. I don't know if you'll be able to see them while you're in the breakout room, but it will give you some ideas of things that, again, it's just idea generation of things that you can ask for or offer, both ways. I'm going to give you just a minute and then I'm going to do the breakout rooms. Nice, you here?
Yes.
Okay. Are we, because we have an odd number of people. So either I will pair up with someone.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that
Okay.
should work. I'll be able to also support as host outside of the breakout rooms if you need me. You should be able to message me.
Okay, I stopped the sharing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Very abruptly, but yeah. I'm going to start the breakout rooms now, and we will all be randomly assigned. There will be 2 people, and you know what to do. Any questions before we go into the breakout rooms? We'll be back in like 15 minutes.
Bhoomika, actually, let me assign it since you'll be in the breakout rooms.
Okay.
And I'll be out.
Yes. Shall we say 20 minutes or 15? 20? Guys, what do you think?
I think 15. Sure.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just adding, I can actually time the breakout rooms. So, and it'll give you guys a heads up 2 minutes before it closes, all right? Okay.
All right. See you guys in 15 minutes. It's just us.
Oh, yeah.
And Mace. Hi, Mace.
Hi, I can force people to come.
You can if you want to.
No, you're the, you lay the law today, Bhoomika.
I mean, we're almost done. There's like one last thing that I want to do, but
the rooms will close automatically in just over a minute. They've got like 70 seconds.
Which actually gives me a chance to say to Sahib, listen, if you want to talk to someone who's done the moving thing,
Yeah.
I can send you a couple of people's numbers and then you can see how easy or difficult the process was.
Sure.
Like I said,
yeah.
I know a lot of people who are doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Just intro you and
that would be
if
awesome.
that's helpful.
Definitely, yeah. Especially if they're like moving as students. That would be
a bunch of them have. So
perfect. That would be great.
Also, look at Germany. I know it's like really left field, but that's something that like
I have a friend. He moved to Germany, but the only difficulty he had was learning the language because that's like a must.
Yeah,
you have to know the language.
Yeah, Mace, everyone interesting I know is moving to Canada is the bottom line.
Oh no!
Except you.
I am not moving. I just moved back, so.
Yeah, you and I are gonna stay here, and
yep. And we'll wallow as everyone leaves.
Yep. I think I'm gonna take it as a good sign that everyone's still in the breakout rooms because then they're having really fun, productive conversations.
They're all back now. They have no choice. Hi.
Hi.
Sorry you've been evicted from your rooms.
Can we go back?
I'm sorry. You should
Shazia, meet me after.
Yeah. All right. So how was that, guys? Like, did you have productive as in like meaningful conversations, fun conversations?
I think we definitely did.
Yeah.
But I think I got the long end of the stick. Shazia got the short end of the stick.
No, but
that's why I said that we need to go back. Yeah.
All right. What do you mean?
Oh, because we didn't have enough time to finish the conversation on Shazia's end. But I think we kind of had the same, we kind of had the same, like I was saying the same things that she was trying to say, and the conversation just flowed, I guess. So yeah, it was good.
I want you guys to think of this as like the beginning meaningful conversation, not just one conversation, because then you guys can get in touch after and like chat. Like I told Sohaib as well, like it's like opening a door and it stays open. How was it, Rohit, Jervi?
It was really good. We talked about careers and what we want to do and what we don't want to do, what we expect out of our lives. It was really meaningful.
That's so nice to hear. Okay, cool. I hope you all got something out of that. And I wanted to do one last activity before we leave, because a lot of the like graphics or brainstorming ideas for helping people out was people related. So like you can introduce them to two people that you know, etc. That can help them in their career, whether that's professional recognition or creative growth. So I wanted you to write down 3 things you admire about your partner and then share it here, because that will then be part of your email introduction to this person that you're going to introduce them to, if you're going to introduce them. So, and also there's another reason, which I will tell you after. Is everyone done? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go first, actually. My partner was Sohaib, and I wrote down 4 things. I didn't write down 3 things. I wrote down 4 things because I couldn't choose between 2 and 4. Okay. Contrary to what he may say, he's very patient. He was very patient with me. I admire that. He's very methodical, which I told him already, organized in the way that he thinks. He was genuinely and very naturally empathetic in that, like, it wasn't something that was in the context of this, but he was like, at one point in the conversation, he's like, no, but let's get back to what you were saying. So that was very cool. And he knows his mind. So he's like, he seems very self-assured, which I admire.
Thank you.
Okay. Also, one second. I want you to write this down.
Okay.
Because writing it down, you're able to absorb the compliment in a way that just hearing it, you can't. And also, you can look at it side by side with the insecurity that you wrote down and remind yourself before you walk into networking situations that you can only see that one side, but you're often forgetting this side. So I'm going to repeat these for you. Okay. Patient, methodical, and organized, genuine and naturally empathetic, and knows his mind.
Got it.
All right.
Yeah. Should I go next?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I preach, but I do not practice.
It's fine. So the first thing that I wrote down, which is also the thing that stood out the most, was that you're a very good listener. I have a lot of friends who are like not very good listeners, so I always have to like remind them to listen. But I felt like it was very like natural when I was talking and you were reacting and responding. It felt like it was organic, which it was. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is similar to this, but it's that it's natural to talk to you. It didn't feel like it was like a forced conversation or something that you have to do because you have a 15-minute duration. So you have to like, force the conversation to go somewhere. It felt like it was just flowing on its own.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
The last thing, which I don't think you would like, but it did seem that way from our conversation, is that you're very dedicated about what you do. Because you being able to not find any time for yourself means that you are passionate about what you do, you're dedicated, and it's something that you look forward to. So that's something that's actually not just something that I admire, but it's also in a way enviable. So that was pretty nice. Yeah.
In the next iteration of this workshop, where I have to write down the best compliment I've ever received, that probably will be it. You're dedicated, and that's enviable. Oh, wow. Thank you for saying I'm a good listener. I have been practicing really hard. Thanks, Sohaib. And I also agree. It was very natural to talk to you. Great. Next group. Who was in room 2? Okay, so Zara, Shazia. You're on mute.
Do I go first or do you want to go first?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. So the things I wrote down first, understanding and compassionate. Those are just kind of adjectives. Then I wrote down respectful and elegant when she speaks. So it feels a bit like it feels a bit like it makes me feel at peace when I speak to you. Does that make sense? Like I have no sense of, there's no sense of like I need to be someone to show you, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense. Anyway, and then I said confident. So it gives me a feeling of trust, like I'm able to trust your opinion and whatever feedback you give me, like I can take it with, like I don't have to take it with a pinch of salt. I can trust you completely to, I know this is a weird thing to say, like we've only met like 3 times. But yeah, this is what I felt when I first met you as well. So yeah.
Thank you. That's so incredible to hear, and exactly not what I'm like. It really pinpoints at my insecurities too. So that's really sweet.
I was just gonna say that, Shazia, also write them down.
All right. I got it right. So I think I'll just,
because these things are really fleeting. They will not stay in your brain.
No. Okay. So I feel like Zara is a really good leader in the sense that she is very emotionally intelligent and at the same time like research oriented, like traditionally intelligent as well. So I think those are really good qualities in a leader, and compassionate in the same sense, like a leader would create space for you. So I like those sort of good qualities in a leader. I see that in her. And I feel that her ambition is like infectious. So that was really nice to hear. And yeah, it really like, pumps you up as well. Like we spoke a lot about like where we want to go and what the things that we want to do. So, and I see that, you do, I mean, that sense of, I don't want to settle. I want to do all of it. I feel that too. Right. So yeah. Yeah, and multifaceted. Like, I mean, I think it's just like your intelligence is really cool, and I really like respect. So those are the, yeah.
Oh my gosh. You pinpointed at my insecurity. Thank you. These are nice. These are really nice. This is really helpful, by the way.
It's
Coming
also
from a
not,
really shitty day.
it's also not niceness, it's honesty.
It's honest.
They
Yeah.
don't have any reason to lie to you.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
don't do that thing where you deflect by saying they're nice. Don't do it. Okay. All right. Rohit, Jervi?
Shall I go?
Yeah, if you want to. Sure.
First and foremost, I just like how effortless she is to talk to. It's just like meeting an old friend. She's got a very disarming aura about her. Like I don't think anyone could pick a fight with her ever. I like how empathizing she is. She has an ability to understand what you're going through and maybe even relate to her own, possibly because we have shared experiences that way, at least in career wise. And another thing I admire about her is her strong ideals when it comes to creative work. Like she's pretty strict on what she finds creative, and she wants to stick to that. She doesn't want to waver beyond it, and I mean that in the best of ways. Like she didn't find her career fulfilling, so she left it, and she's freelancing at the moment, and she's doing good work in that way. So she's got these ideals of, you know what, this is the work I should be doing, and I should be sticking to that, and that's a kind of perseverance and vision that I don't have, and I really admire that.
Thank you, Rohit. Okay, funny enough, I kind of wrote the same things. It's weird enough that, you know, we have similar experiences, and because we're both from Abu Dhabi, it's also kind of like we are almost in the same communities and know similar people. So yes, that's very interesting. I wrote that, Rohit, I find you very, what I find very admiring about you, you're very persistent and you seem very hardworking. And since we are both going through this like career change almost, or like that period where like a shift, so I really admire about you is that you're persistent and you have this energy of like keep going, you know, you'll eventually get there. And that's what I really think is like, okay, I could learn from this, you know, this, you talking about your experiences and you going for your masters and like going for what you think is best, which leads me to the fact that you're introspective. I think that you look towards yourself and you analyze, and you know, you probably helps that you're a programmer and a data analyst, and you see things in a very specific way, and it helps you find the solutions within yourself as well, which is really, really rare to have. And lastly, you're very real, and you know, the conversation that we had was very natural. I didn't feel like I had to be someone or try to impress someone, and it was just like, oh, yeah, as you mentioned, like kind of like talking to a friend. So that was really nice. And I got to know like stuff about you that didn't feel like surface level information. So it was great conversation, and I was glad to have like partnered up with you on this, which is great. And I hope we connect. So that's something.
That's amazing. Introspective, I just want to say, I don't know. Introspective is a very, very good compliment. Okay, so in case you guys want to follow each other, follow me. We all want to follow each other. Do you want to put your like Instagram handles in the chat? Is that a good medium for everyone?
Yeah.
If you want to, it's totally optional.
Sure.
Mine is right here. And I will copy paste from the chat too. Oh. Just gonna stop sharing for a second. Flowers and thumbs, I like that. Sohaib's, I like that too.
I'm as vanilla as they come.
I like it.
We all are.
I'm just copy pasting these onto a little thingy and then.
You know, Sohaib, I feel like I know you from somewhere.
I was thinking the same thing when we joined in the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like I know you, but I don't know where from.
Same. You're in the UAE right now, right? You mentioned. Okay. Did you go to school here?
High school, yeah. I went to uni for a year and then I left for the UK in 20.
Oh, okay. Where did you go?
Uni?
No, yeah.
American University, AUS.
That's
US.
Yeah, where we saw each other. Yeah.
Zara, you went to AUS?
Yeah, I went to AUS for a year. Like I did my foundation in architecture there.
What year?
What year? Everyone's from AUS. I went in 2014, 2015.
Yeah, I was there.
Ah, okay. What did you study?
So I was in mechanical engineering, but I was involved in a lot of student groups. So maybe from student center or
maybe
classes. I don't know. I took a lot of like non-engineering classes as well for my electives.
I don't know.
Realizing how old I am.
Oh, one more thing, by the way, I had hair at the time, so there's another reason why you might not.
Maybe I don't know. Also, it was a very long time ago. It's like 6-7 years ago. So can't believe it's 7 years ago.
I know.
Stop that. Stop.
Yeah, please. I had already graduated by then, so we did not overlap.
Yeah, but also I think I've seen Sohaib. Like 2014 was when I graduated from AUS.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
This is why I was like.
Yeah, I think Bhoomika, you and I graduated the same year, class 14.
Same year. Yeah.
That's so weird. I feel like everyone in the creative field is generally from AUS or from AUD or anyone that I meet is.
Yeah. I mean, at least, I do think, I mean, it's also because we're based in Abu Dhabi, so I actually see quite a lot from NYU and from ZU.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, we actually work more with NYU and ZU than AUS or AUD, but I think that's geography.
Yeah, Dubai, I feel like is a lot of AUD and AUS, or at least every time I'm in a situation where I'm networking or talking to people, they just have some kind of connection to AUS or AUD.
We gravitate towards each other subconsciously.
Yeah, it's just really tiny. The number of friends that I just have in like 2 different circles, and they are like best friends, and I'm like, wait, what? Where did that happen?
This is a tiny, tiny place, but I'm really glad to have met you all. Sohaib, Rohit, Jerby, Zara and Shazia, I know, and Mace. So it was really good to have you guys here. I've noted down all your handles, so we will follow each other, and feel free to keep this connection going with each other. And my door is always open for all of you guys. If you need anything, hit me up. Okay. All right.
This is a really nice workshop.
I should write that down next to my insecurity.
Well,
100%.
Speaking of,
very good job.
Speaking of, Bhoomika, you can close your ears, but actually you're going to be in the email. I'm going to send very, very small survey email to all of you. That's very basic. It's just sort of demographic and a general experience comment. We'd love it if you guys leave some feedback. It helps us see what people like, and but what works and what doesn't, and what people want to see more of. But thank you all for being here, for spending your Tuesday evening with us, and Bhoomika, thank you for holding the space for us and facilitating these conversations.
It was an honor.
People should hire you to do this full time.
Oh my God. I have so many compliments for the next workshop.
Like, I mean, before I don't know, like new recruits come to a company or something. Like you need to facilitate that somehow.
That would be nice. Yeah.
That sounds like a
Yeah,
really
it would
fun
be
job.
nice. It's like a great
Yeah,
icebreaker. Like
facilitation
I feel like
is
I already
hard.
know all
Cool.
All right,
Thank
you
you.
guys. Yeah, have a good night. The email should be in your inboxes
night.
now.
Okay.
And we'll see you
It was nice
guys.
meeting you all.
Bye
Good night,
bye.
guys.
Bye.
Night.
Bye.